Hi, Hiram here. Yesterday I did a little boil test on this all-in-one stove from Intense Outdoor Gear. I got this one along with the X-Lite stove. But I got a number of questions and emails asking things, or messages rather, asking some stuff, so I thought I'd cover this again real quick. The one question was, can the wick be extended for a larger flame? In it, I'm going to take one of my old ones. See, it has a wick here. It needs a wick in order to burn. You can pull it out and make it a little bit bigger, but I don't think you'd be able to. See, it pulls out, but I don't know if you'd be able to get it back into the can at all. So you have to be careful with that. It's in a punched hole. It's been punched in this direction, so there's some sharp edges. And I think it might be real tough to push it back down in. You could do it, but then you're stuck with whatever size it is. I'm not sure. Well, maybe a larger flame might help it better, but again, you can't get it back in, so that's up to you. What size pot will work on this? Basically, the diameter of this is, what did I say? 3.3 inches wide on this can. This is the 2-hour can. The only difference, if you go to the 6-hour, the can's a little taller. The diameter is the same, but the cans just get taller. Now, this isn't one of the screw top ones. This is the one where I said it's pretty much, you use it to the end of it. It has a little rubber cap on the top, but it's not real good for carrying around. You want the screw types. As far as what size pot will this work in, yesterday I did it with my Boy Scout pot because I wanted to get a test that compares to other tests. But basically, at 3.3 inches in diameter, that is 8.4 centimeters wide. Any pot that this will fit into will work on the stove. So like my titanium, my big Vargo Titanium, it fits in there, so the pot will fit on the stove. I was asked about the GSI. Now, this kind of stuff I always put in a plastic bag, just for so, but that fits in there. So a GSI cup will fit in. This is a Minimalist. That would work on the stove. Something like this small Vargo Titanium, the small mug or cup, you can't store the burner in there, so when you go to try to put it on the ring, it'd just fall through. So that's kind of the rule of thumb. If it fits in the pot, you can use it with the burner. I've been asked to do a test on this using titanium, so I'm going to do it again with my Vargo Titanium. Again, here we see it fits in. Great for a little storage. So we take it out. Now I swapped the rubber band that was on this for a silicone rubber band. Just for so, because you really shouldn't put this thing away hot. Remember, like I said, always make sure that this burner is cool before you put the lid on. Otherwise, if it's still warm and you put the lid on, the fuel inside will condense and form a vacuum, and you'll probably never get this lid open again. But here we have the all-in-one stand put on there. And see, it works. So let me get my water prepped, and I'll be right back for a test using titanium on the all-in-one stove. Be right back. Okay, I have the water the same temperature as yesterday. Let me light this. Oops. That's lit. Now I measured the wick on this. It's 5/8 of an inch tall, or about 1.5 centimeters. Let's put on the stand. 2 cups of water in my titanium, Vargo Titanium. And let's see where this goes. Okay, we're going on 5 minutes. The temperature's up to 102, 5 minutes into the burn. Like I said yesterday, this isn't a speed demon as far as heating up water, but it is pretty much a no fuss, no muss kind of a gear thing that you can carry around on a day trip, or for emergencies at home or in a cabin. There we have 211. There we have 211. There we have 211. $212 at 24.13 it looked like. Interesting. Oops, wrong switch. Okay, that was 2 cups of water, starting at 61 degrees like yesterday. Came to a full boil in 24 minutes, 13 seconds. Let me just... like I said the other day, you do get, when you blow this out, you do get some fumes. But there's no heavy smell or anything with it. Like I explained, this is what they call chafing fuel. For when you go to a buffet or someplace that's been catered, and they come out with those metal trays with the sterno and stuff underneath it, they're really not too worried about getting the water to a boil in those. They just want hot water to keep the food hot. They don't want boiling water necessarily that would end up making the food cook more in those pans. They just want to keep them warm. And that's the purpose behind this stuff. That's why it's, even though it's got a lot of heat that it puts out, it doesn't heat up the water instantly like an alcohol burner or something. But that was 2 cups of water, starting at 61 degrees, came to a boil in 24 minutes, 13 seconds. Yesterday, 2 cups of water starting at 61 degrees, in the aluminum Boy Scout pot, came to a boil in 23 minutes, 26 seconds. So this is about, close to a minute more. But that could be the titanium. Also yesterday, I measured how much fuel was in the can before I started and then afterwards. On yesterday's test, I used 0.49 ounces. That's weight ounces, not fluid ounces, but 0.49 ounces or 14 grams of fuel. When this is cooled off, I'll weigh it and I'll put the amount down here of what was used in today's test. I was thinking about something. I wonder what would happen if, I don't know, if to use a carbon felt just as a windscreen around it, or if I use the ace bandages where I put it around the pot and just have it extend down so that it's on the flame to keep that heat contained. I wonder if that would help it any better. I think you can breathe through. I think air will get through this. It's porous. It's just that it kind of cuts down on wind. That's why a lot of people like to use this for windscreens, although I still hold out for aluminum foil. Okay, so that's the all-in-one stand stove from intenseoutdoorgear.com. Again, I'll leave the links down below of where you can see this stuff and where I bought it from. Also, I'll put links down there for John's site from intenseangler. This is not to be confused with the John from Flat Cat Gear. This is John, from Intense Angler. I'll leave links down there for that too. I hope this helps. Even though it's a slow burner, it's handy. If all you wanted to do was just go for if you're just going for a day hike or something and you had all the time in the world. Also, this is for I'm doing 2 cups of water here. 1 cup would heat up maybe in half the time. Not that I've ever tried that. Maybe I should. But if anybody wants it. So I thank you for watching. I hope this helps. I look forward to your input, questions, remarks, helpful suggestions. And as always, watch for my buddy Max. Bye now.